Debt consolidation. Is it for you? How do you know that it works for your situation? What does it involve? What does Dave Ramsey say about it? I'm going to answer all these questions here in this video. I love making these videos for you guys. It allows me to give information on topics that most people don't really have information on. Being that I worked with a professional credit advisor in order to get people business funding, I have a lot of insight. Not to mention that I've also gone through a lot of credit repair and creative financing and things of such myself. Debt consolidation with Dave Ramsey. That's what I'm calling this video. I watched a couple of his videos. And first of all, let me say kudos to Dave Ramsey, helping a lot of people really take charge of their debt. He's a great guy, phenomenal. I can't knock against his credibility. He has way more credibility than what I have. I would definitely trust his information before trusting my information. He has a TV show. I got a YouTube channel. Go figure. But with that said, I'm an entrepreneur. Dave Ramsey is an entrepreneur as well. But some of the advice that he gives is not to the typical entrepreneur. When it comes to entrepreneur and financing and credit repair, getting approved for things, debt consolidation, there's a couple of loopholes that he does not give to the average consumer. And he probably just can't, because the average consumer doesn't need the tools such as yourself or myself. And so I'm going to give you information as an average consumer and also as an entrepreneur who has a business and looking to maximize on their opportunities as much as possible. So first thing is first. Like I said, Dave Ramsey has a different perspective that he's speaking on with his TV shows when it comes to debt consolidation. I saw a video where he was talking to a young lady. She was in debt. She was asking about student loans and doing debt consolidation for all of her credit cards and payday loans. And he pretty much told her, look, the money that you're making right now, take care of your needs first. After you take care of your needs, what do you have left over? And she pretty much didn't have any money left over. So he said, hey, take care of yourself, let the pieces fall where they may be. And after you get yourself together, then begin to use any type of extra money to pay the creditors. Then I also saw in another video, he was talking to a family where they have a household income of $75,000, which is a pretty solid household income. This particular gentleman wanted to do debt consolidation with his credit cards. He had a couple of them. I don't remember the amounts on them, but they had a pretty high interest rate, which ranged between, I believe it was like 8 to 15%, which is solid percentage rates when it comes to interest charges. Now, these two scenarios are totally different. And what I'm going to be really speaking upon is the situation where if you have multiple credit cards and high interest rates, because sometimes debt consolidation just does not make any sense. If you have a huge credit card, let's say a $15,000 to $20,000 credit card, and you have a 20% interest rate on it, you're paying $250 to $300 a month on it minimum, and that's all interest without none being paid to the principal. Let's say you go get a loan or another credit card or some type of debt consolidation program. They're just going to open up something else, probably in the form of a loan or a credit card, and you're just going to transfer everything from your high interest rated account over to the new account. I don't think that's necessarily a great idea. Reason being, yes, I understand that the debt consolidation method, whichsoever one you want to choose, may have 0%. However, the issue that you run into is that you're opening up new accounts. Whenever you try to do something in the future, the banks and credit cards, the banks and whomsoever is looking at your credit history to approve you of something is going to look at how many new accounts that you opened over a duration of time. If they see that I opened up 2 or 3 credit cards or 2 or 3 loans within the past 3 to 6 months, they're going to definitely throw a yellow flag or a red flag and say, okay, time out. We need to ask this person questions because they're opening a lot of accounts in a short period of time. That's why you want to utilize what you have first before you begin to open up new accounts. On the other hand, if you have multiple credit cards, let's say 3 to 5 credit cards, they have high interest rates. One may have a 24% or 22%. The other 3 or 4 may have maybe a 8%, a 6%. 15%, that's a great idea. And I tell you why. When you clump all of those together, move them over to something that's a 0% program, such as a credit card or a loan, not only do you clump all of your payments together so that you can knock it out at one time, which means you reduce your payments, which means you reduce the amount that you owe a whole lot faster, but also when it comes to credit history and your credit limit, you will see that your usage percentage will go down drastically. Whenever you have 4 to 5 credit cards that are overutilized, which pretty much is over 30%, banks look at that as an issue. And so if you have all 4 to 5 credit cards like that, you're considered high risk. But then all of a sudden you take all of that debt, move it over to one account. Now you have one account that is overutilized, which is the new one that you just created and moved everything over to. And now you have 4 to 5 credit cards, all wiped clean with low usage rates, and it seems like you're doing a great job with your credit history with that. And what happens when you have something that looks very nice and squeaky clean like that? Your FICO score shoots up through the roof. I'm gonna see if I can find a rocket ship video or something with that.
Ignition and liftoff of Discovery.
Your score will jump so many points by this point, it makes sense to do the debt consolidation. In the meantime, keep all of your accounts open. Do not close them, because if you close them, now the banks only see that after you close all of those accounts with that one debt consolidation program open, technically you only have one account open. Keep in mind what I said earlier. When you open up new accounts for something, either a loan or a credit card, that shows up as a newly opened account, and it's as if the age of your credit history has to start over. If you close all of your other credit cards, which you have detailed history on, let's say from 5 and 10 years back, you just removed all of that history. Now it just seems like you're just beginning to do something new with credit cards, like you're a college student or a high school student all over again. So be very careful after doing debt consolidation, because if you move everything over to the new consolidated program, you have to be responsible to not use those credit cards. I will say that again. You have to be responsible to not use those old credit cards that you just did the balance transfers on. You don't want to be in a situation all over again. You don't want to file bankruptcy because you can't handle payments. Be smart about what you do. And this is probably why Dave Ramsey does not necessarily suggest a lot of these things, because he has to suggest things that you as the consumer has to be able to follow with low risk. So another trick when it comes to debt consolidation is if you have access to business lines of credit. Business lines of credit allows you to do things on that side so that it is not seen on a personal credit side. So in other words, you have two sides of the spectrum, right? One side is business credit, the other side is personal. Whatever happens on the personal credit side does not affect the business, and the same vice versa. So if you have a business line of credit, you can move things, you can do a balance transfer over from your personal credit side over to your business credit side. And see, this is something I did. My wife and I got approved for a good amount of money for business credit, and we moved all of her debt from her personal side over to the business credit cards. And these are 0% for a year, and it didn't bother us when it came to the personal credit, because again, it doesn't bother the personal credit. So now the banks see this as, oh my God, they paid off all of their debt. And now we're getting offers left and right for 0% this, 0% that, balance transfers, these amazing credit cards that allow you to take trips for free. More on that soon, but hopefully you guys get the point. So I threw a lot at you guys. I hope that you picked up something here. I recently did a debt consolidation for myself, and I had a chance to go through my bank because I have a credit union, and I really wanted to do it through them because I know that they really care about community and making progress for the individual. But I had to decline them, and I made a video on that. So check that out. Check out the description. See why I refused the debt consolidation program with my bank. And if you guys got questions, leave them below in the description. If you're thinking about doing debt consolidation, or if you have done debt consolidation, what is your experience? What questions do you have? I'd love to hear from you guys. Antonio, Emancipation Occupation, subscribe to my YouTube channel, please, so I can keep dropping awesome nuggets. Check out all the free resources I got in the description below. We'll talk to you later.